Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sah Veeryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Welcome to Life and Vedanta. What we want in life is peace, is prosperity, is happiness. This is what Vedanta is indicating. That until and unless there is peace, prosperity and happiness cannot be. How? Let us understand this today by understanding the Shanti Mantra, which we chant before and at the end of session. The Shanti Mantras are coming from the Vedas, 4 different Vedas, Rig, Sam, Yajush and Atharva Veda. We are using the Yajur Veda mantra, Sahana Vavatu. It is probably the most popular Shanti Mantra across all the fields of studies. Why studies? It can be applied into any situation. As we go studying further, we will explain how this mantra can be applied for all kind of situations. However, coming back to the word Shanti and Mantra. So before we explain what Shanti Mantra is, shall we chant it once? Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sah Veeryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. What does Shanti mean? The first word Shanti, it means very simple. It means we should not be disturbed. That where there is no disturbance. Really, that's simple. Yes, Shanti means peace, peacefulness. That means where there is no disturbances, only peace can be there. What are the sources of disturbances you're talking about? This is a very important question. So, when we want to focus our mind and there is a disturbance, means the disturbance comes only in the mind. Therefore, Shanti Mantra. Mantra is always done in the mind. Therefore, when we do mantra, when we do thinking, that is mantra. Yes, therefore, when your mind is disturbed, what gets disturbed? The thought flow gets disturbed. Therefore, Gurudev has said once that the mind is a continuous flow of thoughts. So that this continuous flow of thoughts don't get disturbed, Shanti is required. And the 3 sources from where the disturbances come or emerge are called Adi Daivika, Adi Bhaut and Adhyatmika. Let me explain. Adi Daivika means that source of disturbance which is very, very far, on whom our control is nil, 0, where there is no way that we can control. What is that source called? Say nature. In our case, we are sitting inside this room and the sun outside is bright and beautiful. We are studying, but suddenly the nature says no, there has to be rain, and the clouds come. It makes a lot of noise because of the thunder. Suddenly our study has been disturbed. As soon as the thunder comes or the rain comes, your mind for a moment gets distracted. Why moment? For a very long time the mind can keep thinking, why is it raining? Is it going to be once a very heavy rain where everything is going to be underwater, or many other such things? Therefore, the first disturbance would come to the mind is a faraway source which is not in our control, and that source is called Adi Daivika. The second source, Adi Bhautika. Bhautika means which is something surrounding us. What is that disturbance which is surrounding us? Tens and thousands of things. Everything that is there inside this place could disturb. Somebody could come and ring the bell. Suddenly the light would go. Suddenly something would fall. Any and everything that is around you, it can create a disturbance in your mind. Therefore, the second kind of disturbance that comes to the mind is the surrounding disturbance. And the third and the most important disturbance that can arise in the mind is by the mind alone. Adhyatmika means while you want your mind to focus on a particular thought, on a particular string of thoughts, suddenly it goes to its own thoughts and your complete study gets disturbed. You've kept a beautiful vase. While you're studying, suddenly your mind shifts the focus from the study to the vase and the beautiful flowers into it, and the mind can just run away. These are the 3 disturbances from which we lose the Shanti of the mind. Why do we need Shanti to think? You're right. We come from India, from Mumbai especially, and there is everything else other than Shanti. What I mean is there is so much of noise in Mumbai that hardly there will be any time in the entire 24 hours that you will not hear some honking or some car or something. As such, complete silence or peace, it is very difficult. And one may ask, how do the people of India, Mumbai focus? Do they never focus? No, they do focus, but they have to put so much extra effort in that focusing that it is probably they are not 100% focused on what they are supposed to. Or even if they are focused very much and the results that they come could have been much better if they were in a place, in an environment which it was absolutely silent. So when there is Shanti, what we say, it is peace. But how your mind will be peaceful? When the mind is focused. And only when the mind is focused, that mind is called a blissful mind. And do you know what? The essence of all studies of Shastra is only one: to reach from the state of this disturbed mind to the blissful mind is the essence of the study. The natural question that comes in the mind is, how do we achieve this Shanti? Therefore, the Shanti Mantra. The Shanti Mantra means that only. What does it mean? It means by doing this, your mind will be prepared in the state of Shanti so that you can move ahead and study and achieve the goal and enjoy the goal that you have just achieved. As we said, that there are some disturbances which you cannot handle. They are going to be there. For such disturbances, say the prayer. Om. To the far away disturbances where you have no control. Because the Shastras have said that entire universe is called the Brahmanda. And this little self of yourself is called the Pindanda. As that is in Brahmanda, is in the Pindanda. As it is in the Pindanda, is in the Brahmanda. So when you chant Om within, that peace, that Shanti which is derived of that Om also reaches there. When there it is peaceful, it becomes peaceful here. This is how the Adi Daivika has to be pacified. The second, Adi Bhautik. This is not rocket science. Shastra says, have a minimalistic living style. Have less in your life. The lesser the thing that you have, the lesser the mind will get disturbed. And this we have already spoken. The mind gets fragmented as you take it outside in the world. The more the mind is outwardly, it is more and more fragmented. The more the mind is focused within, it is single pointed. And ekagrata, this is what we require for the mind to become efficient and fast. Finally, the last, Adhyatmika, or the disturbance that arises in the mind. How to solve that problem? The answer is inside the question only. By focusing the mind on the higher. When the mind is focused on the higher, the consciousness, the self, what happens is it becomes single pointed. Why? Because even the mind naturally wants continuous flow of thought. Therefore, when you start focusing on the higher, your life becomes higher. Therefore, they say that even if your lifestyle is not much, but your way of living should be high. The way of living in your life should be simple living and high thinking. And this is what Shanti Mantra teaches us. Further, now we move into the Shanti Mantra. Let us now focus on the Shanti Mantra, Sahana Vavatu. Sahana Vavatu. Now what happens over here is, the prayer is an invocation. Invocation is something which you have to invoke that feeling. How can you sing an invocation without invoking the feeling? Therefore, what is the feeling, the bhava, when you pray or you make this invocation? The bhava is of surrender. Close your eyes and you say these words. Oh Lord Almighty, may you protect us together. That means it is not only about your protection, it is a protection about somebody else also. Yes, it is. In our situation, we are talking about the Guru and Shishya. So there are two. It's a pair. Therefore, we are requesting that Almighty, to give us protection from these three disturbances together. This also indicates something else, that always in our, whenever, wherever, and in whatever situation we are, if we think of the protection, if we think of the other first before us, and we make all possible effort to get that other person protection, happiness, peace, what happens to you? You automatically gain them. Continuing further, the same sentence says, Sahana Vavatu, that may he make us enjoy together. Now, enjoy means what? In our situation, we are studying. When we sit to study, of course, the study itself is enjoyable, but the result of the study that we both are hoping to achieve, don't you think that we should be able to complete our study, and that fruits, the results of the study, we should be able to enjoy? Exactly. This is that enjoyment, the enjoyment of fulfillment, enjoyment of bliss. May that Lord make us enjoy that bliss together. Going further, Saha Viryam Karavavahe. That means it's a study between the two. So both have to put the effort together, meaning the student has to be respectful and in a state of mind where he is wanting to study. He must be a seeker. At the same time, the teacher, the guru, must be a person who is willing to teach and has infinite amount of patience, so that the mistakes of the students may not be taken into heart, and the teacher again and again explains the right formula, the right meaning of the things. When these two are together, on one side the student having love and respect and reverence, on the other side the master has the patience, the inclination and willingness to teach, then in this environment alone, the knowledge transfer takes place. Many a times you may have seen that the teacher and the student have no sync. When there is no sync, something else happens. Knowledge transfer doesn't take place. It is not any more education, but it is something else. In the Shanti Mantra, it is made very clear to the teacher as well as the student that they have to work together as one unit. They have to put their virya together in the same direction. Next, going ahead. Tejasvina adhyatamastu. Now, adhyatam means study, to understand. How our study should be, how should we understand? With complete brilliance. You cannot study in a dull mental state. Your study has to be in the state of your mind when it is at its brilliant most. Only then the essence of what is being studied can the mind be grasping. Otherwise, there are so many things that are spoken while the study is going on, while the knowledge transfer takes place. If the mind is dull, the mind will not be able to grasp the essential aspects of the study. Therefore, Tejasvina adhita. You have to study adhitam with Tejasvi. And then finally, the most beautiful of the entire thing is Ma Vidvishavahai. Means what? It means this, at this point in time, let there be no arguments. Yes. A study in Shastra is dialogue, is called Samvad. It's a dialogue. It is not Vivad, argument. Means, does that mean the student has no opportunity to ask questions? Asking questions is the most important thing of this study, because the entire study system of Shastra is based on the student inquiring and the teacher answering. But this has to be in an environment of love and affection, not in argument. Meaning what? The student has to understand that he is a seeker and the guru is the giver. If the student is the seeker, then the student should receive the knowledge with humility, with love. And the giver who is imparting the knowledge should impart the knowledge with a lot of love and with a lot of compassion. These are the two ingredients which are very important. If these two ingredients, love and respect, love and compassion, are there, then what happens is there is no clash between the student and teacher. There is always a dialogue, and only in a state of dialogue that all our differences, all our misunderstandings can be clear. Not in a state of argumentative, questioning answer. There should be no competition. There is no competition. There has to be love and affection. And this is why the last sentence of this entire prayer says, Ma vidvishavahai. May we not have any disputes with each other. So, how beautifully the Shanti Mantra is created, that it covers all the aspects of entire transfer of knowledge. I told this before, that this mantra, Sahana Vavatu, can be applicable not only to student and teacher, but to any two people, pair in the entire universe, wherever they may be, whatever business that they may want. Maybe it is husband and wife. Maybe it is two partners in business. Maybe it is one corporation with other corporation. It could be any situation that you may think where there are two involved. The first thing what the prayer says is, what is the invocation? What is that you have to invoke in yourself? Humility. When there is humility to begin with, the result will be knowledge. It will be only blissful gain. Second, how do they move forward? They both come together and they invoke from that Almighty protection for both of them. Means everything is balanced equally for both. Moving ahead, they say that after the education is complete, after the project that we have taken is complete, after the business that we are about to begin, when it is complete, the results thereof, we shall enjoy it together. You see, there has to be this clear understanding that the work has to be done together. That means the results also should be enjoyed together. If you apply these two aspects to any business of yours, two things are immediately removed. One, greed is removed. Second, since greed is not there, there is no need to fear. Today's work, in today's world, why do nations fight? Why do two companies fight? Why do two brothers fight? Why do a couple fight, a husband and wife? For two reasons. One, selfishness, greed, for me, for myself. And second, because there is greed, there is also fear. If you feel that you want to have everything, you may have the same thought that other person may want everything. Greed is immediately attached with fear. Therefore, fear and greed is removed in the beginning itself. Then, what is the rest of the mantra saying? That let us do things with full of our mental awareness and attention. And what to do? We must put our best step forward and work together. Finally, that let us not have any dispute, because instead of having any dispute, let us have a dialogue, a Guru Shishya Samvad. In the same way, you can have a dialogue with any person you are working with a peaceful mind, a peaceful demeanor. This attitude that you are not here to take something extra from you, but you are here to impart, or you are here to give equal to that person and to you. In this way, if you put this prayer in front of any situation, any good work that you are about to begin, when you start with this thought process, when you explain this thought process to the other person, it will be a sure success. Once the minds have met, there is no trouble in the world. The mantra concludes with the triple Shanti, and we have already spoken about the triple Shanti before. Therefore, shall we once again chant this entire mantra ending with the Shanti? This time I am going to sing it slightly slowly so that you can also chant with me or after me. Kindly join me. Sahana Vavatu, Sahana Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavahai, तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Let us end this beautiful session. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.